Webinar is now streaming live on Facebook. Okay, perfect. So one more person has to answer the poll. And once that's done, I'm going to start sharing my screen and we're going to start. So there's one person couldn't find the, yeah, okay, everybody answered the poll. Cool. So we have 4 people who didn't start a business yet, who didn't own a profitable business yet, and 1 person who does. That's really cool. What type of business do you have? B2B, B2C. We have 3 B2Cs and 2 B2Bs. Okay, I'm going to end the poll. And now we know that share results. Oh, cool. We can do that. Share results. I think you guys can see this now. So for me, this is also new. So I'm still testing a little bit. Okay, this one I can turn off. We're going to start our screen sharing and go to the slideshow, play from start. There we go. Okay, so welcome everybody. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys learn a lot. I put a lot of effort in the presentation and I'm pretty proud of it. So I already did it at a vegan festival last week. And this Thursday, I did it in the Builderall group. Now, if you don't know what's Builderall, it's an internet marketing platform that I help promote. But right now we're going to go to the presentation and I'll say, my name is Randy Hereman. I'm a storyteller, a speaker, a content creator, a YouTuber, a digital marketer, social business consultant, brand strategist, life coach, vegan activist, and entrepreneur. And the last ones, that is what most of my business and most of my goals are going towards. We had a lovely chat already. I'm going to quickly check if I can read the chat. Yes, that's better. Do you see this chat meanwhile? Yes, now I see it. Cool. So I can read. If somebody can type, let's see. Yeah, okay, even better. So what are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about the new digital age, the importance of social media for your business, creating high quality content without a big budget. So even if you are starting out or even if you don't have much, how can you still create nice content? I'm going to test the raise hand button. Okay, I'm going to check that out as well. How can you still create nice content even though you don't have much money or you don't have the tools? Like maybe you just have a smartphone, and how can you really do that? Then we're going to talk about the power of storytelling, and then I'm going to have a special offer for you guys. And then afterwards we can hang out, we can do a Q&A, we can hang with everybody together inside of this meeting. If you're watching this on Facebook Live, then join us in the meeting. The link is on the Facebook page, or check the meeting page. And let's start. So, but before we start, I want to know more about you. So we already did the poll. Now I want to know, why are you at this webinar? Like, what do you hope to get out of this webinar before you start it? What type of business do you have? I know we have 2 coaches in the chat. I know we have a lawyer. So I'm curious to hear what else you guys are doing. Leave it in the comments and I should be able to see it. Because the more I know about you, the more advice I can give tailored towards your business or your business goals or the reason why you're here. Like, what do you want to get out of this meeting? So if anybody can type that in the chat, then I can make sure it's readable. Oh, there we are. Okay. Also would like to advise for opening my vegan web shop, Rot Vegan. Okay, so we're gonna have that advice about the web shop at the Q&A. So you have the opportunity to. I will stay on for as long as need be, and we're gonna have a little conversation, a little chat. So for those interested and want to debate a little bit more about the topic that we're talking about or have other questions, definitely wait or join after the webinar, because we're going to talk about, well, whatever you guys like to talk about. So let's start. A new world, a human evolution. We are changing. The world is changing. And just the idea that you're sitting behind a computer now watching me in Den Haag, the Netherlands, is part of our human evolution. We can learn, we can teach, we can communicate with each other through technology in ways we could never, ever before. This is Rudy Carson. He owns one of the most significant human resources firms in the world. And in this TED Talk that I was watching while creating this webinar, he said something that I really related to and that I wanted to share with you guys. Can you freaking believe it? We're actually living in the golden age of our species. I'm in awe with what we have done. If you and I were chatting about 10 years ago and having conversation, and you told me that there would be a car built on a software platform that I could summon with my smartphone and could do 0 to 60 miles in 3 seconds, travel 300 miles, have no gas, run on electricity, park itself and fuel itself with the hose in the garage, you think I would freaking believe you? No freaking way. So he's of course talking about Tesla and Tesla, the self-driving car, but also about the golden age. And the golden age, he talks about the opportunities that we have today, the opportunities that are here for us. And that's what this whole webinar will be about. We're going to talk about how the internet created the biggest opportunity that ever existed, basically. And I'm going to try to share with you my enthusiasm for where this world is going. So the internet's only 10,485 days old. That's 28 years. And to put that in context, the modern human is 200,000 years old, and our planet's about 4.5 billion years old. Now, if anybody of you watched the VegFest presentation, the first 10-15 minutes will be the same. After that, it's different. So just so you know, it's worth sticking around. The internet's only 10,485 days old. And it's so new that I love to use this quote. You don't know what you don't know. The way some people are using the internet to create their business or build their business or automate things and create a really, really nice lifestyle for themselves while we are still doing the repetitive tasks every single day. There's a lot of new stuff happening, and there's a lot of new stuff happening every single day that's evolving in the form of virtual reality, augmented reality, the way computers work, the way computers learn, the way the computers interact, how voice becomes relevant. I mean, you might see those science fiction movies where you wake up and you say, "Hi, Nina, what's for breakfast?" And suddenly the ceiling will answer back to you and say, "Today for breakfast, there is some hummus with, with bread," or whatever. I mean, this is not just movie anymore. This already exists. Look at your phone, look at Siri, look at Alexa. The future is here, basically. Today, we're over 7 billion people on this planet, and 3.2 billion people are using the internet, meaning that almost 50% of the world today is connected to the internet. Facebook only launched 13 years ago. So imagine a world without Facebook. Just look at how integrated Facebook is in our daily lives today and how many people are actually connected to Facebook. It's only 13 years ago, and the iPhone, the smartphone, the way we use technology today, almost the whole day, throughout all of our lives, is only 10 years old. So everything is really new, and that's why I'm a big fan of the quote, "You don't know what you don't know." To go and have a look at Facebook. Facebook started in 2004, and now 13 years later, they have over 2 billion users already. This was June 2017. They hit the 2 billion users, but right now they're already way over the 2 billion. On the internet, there is 1.24 billion active websites. But if you really think about it, where do you spend most of your time? If you are connected to the internet and you're active and engaging with the internet, where do you spend your time? And if you really think about it, social media is the big winner. Platforms like Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Snapchat, Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest. If you look at the polls, right now I'm going to launch a new poll, and you guys can continue. You guys can put something in there. How many of these platforms are you using? If you look at all the social media platforms and you try to sum up the platforms that you are using, then are you using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 or more platforms? If I look at myself, I'm mostly active on YouTube and Facebook, a little bit on Twitter, and a little bit on Instagram. So I would say I use 4 platforms. Now we're going to wait a little bit until everybody voted. So we have 3 more people to vote. 1 person uses 6 or more. That's impressive. That's really impressive. 2 people are using 2 platforms. Waiting for 2 more people to put in their vote. So as you can see here, there's like everybody uses at least 2 platforms. So the question is, and I didn't use this poll, but I'm interested actually, how many hours the people are actually spending on these platforms. I spend most of my time, well, that's not true. Like a lot of time I will spend on these social media platforms. And if I don't spend them on these platforms, I actually use one of these platforms. I listen to music, I watch movies or videos or series. And not that I do that much, but I still do it. And I don't even watch normal television anymore. So I have a little case study from the Netherlands. And in this case study, we're going to talk about, how we are using this. I will share the results, by the way. Sorry if this is a little bit clunky, but that's my first time on this thing. So 99% of Dutch youth between 13 and 18 years have a smartphone. I mean, that's pretty impressive. And every day they consume 7 hours and 42 minutes on media. Now, if we look at how they spend these 7 hours and 42 minutes, they spend 4 hours and 30 minutes on a mobile device, of which 2 hours and 15 minutes on a social platform, 2 hours and 12 minutes on communication tools like WhatsApp, Skype, and maybe Facebook Messenger. And they listen 1.5 hours to music, play games 45 minutes, and only use the regular internet about 20% of the time. Now, if you're an entrepreneur, if you want to start a business, or if you already have a business, to be found on your own website is a lot less important than to be able to be visible and visibly active on these medias where these people are consuming. Because as you will see in a later slide, a few slides later, not only 18-year-olds are using it. We are using it as well. And we are using it pretty actively, and it's only becoming more and more. If you have a look at this statistic, this counts for human population. We're about 17 million people in the Netherlands right now. And I didn't search out the statistic, but a large number of that are people below 12 years old. So the 11 million people, where almost every single adult in the Netherlands is connected to WhatsApp or Facebook. And a lot of people are using YouTube, and LinkedIn is a bit less popular because it's more niche related. And Instagram has went through an insane growth. Now, this is a little overview of the data in the Netherlands on how these platforms are used. As you can see, Twitter is already getting a bit older, and Twitter is stagnating, meaning that they have a local user base, because every platform, every person is using in their own way. So especially youth, it's proven that the youth is very, very good to recognize that Facebook, they use it in this way, Snapchat, they use it in that way, and YouTube is basically replacing their TV. Instagram is their daily quick look and look in the lives of other people type of app. Twitter is like the new forums. LinkedIn is just for business. So each platform has their own way of using it. And that's also likely why some person is using 6 of these platforms. Now, if you look at these platforms and you look at an overview, you can see that it's really important to understand each social media if you run a business. If you run a business targeted at 15 to 19 years old, you shouldn't probably be active on LinkedIn or Pinterest. But if you are running a coaching business and you attract high-end clients with big businesses that are between 40 and 64, well, it's probably best to advertise directly on Facebook, because that is a way to reach these people. However, if you try to get high-end clients, then you will have to tell a different story, being that advertising on Facebook, then you should do it on LinkedIn, because on LinkedIn, the people come with the idea of doing business. It's a business platform, whereas Facebook is more of a consumer platform. So the way you tell your story, in which social media, in which environment, is extremely relevant for your business. Now, I would like to know in the chat, are you excited about social media? Are you excited about the internet and the way business is going? And you can type in the chat, just say a yes or say a no. Do you like the way we are evolving as human beings, or do you think it's sad? Do you think it's a shame that we're evolving like this? So the yes is for yes, you like it. So I think it's a yes very much. And social media doesn't change who we are. It exposes us for who we really are. This is a quote by Gary Vaynerchuk, and I highly agree with this. Social media doesn't change who we are. We might value our privacy and we might want to keep our privacy, but therefore we shouldn't judge others who say, hey, I'm vlogging or I'm doing this. Like, the ability to open up and to share your story and to be your own marketer, to be your own presenter, the vegan movement wouldn't have happened if social media didn't exist. It's the age of information that exposes everything that we do. Every insecurity that we have is exposed. And I will talk about this more, but I have an example of one of my coaching clients who clearly felt that vlogging was not the fact that vlogging he didn't like. It was more that he was insecure about this. It's the fact that we see people doing the dog faces and that we see people selling their image and selling their status, and not really like so many. Like I had this girl, let me tell you a story. I had this girl I was living in Brazil, and this girl, she was a kite surfer, but she didn't really kite. So she went to the lagoon, a place where we were kiting, a lake, and she was sitting on her chair the whole day. Then at the end of the day, she would go back to social media and then say, had an amazing kite session in Brazil, post some pictures of the lagoon where she was, and that's saying that she learned new tricks, etc. Now, this is not social media that is doing that. This is the person itself that is trying to build a fake image around her. It exposes who she is. It exposes her that she wants to impress people with lies and with things that don't really happen. But on the other side, it also exposes the truth about, for example, the meat industry. Because we get, as individuals, as activists, as entrepreneurs, we get to decide how we promote ourselves, what we do, how we position ourselves, and what messages we share. So it should just be seen as a tool. And I think that's the biggest thing about this quote. So the future, what is the future to do, and how does social media actually play a part in that? Before we look at that, I want to look at the future of technology, because social media is technology. All these platforms are based around technology, and technology gets more and more advanced. And we as normal people who don't really live in Silicon Valley and who don't really look at all the new developments every single day, we have no idea how fast this technology is developing and evolving and what's possible. But once you understand what's possible, you will understand where it's going. And once you understand where it's going, you will realize how important it is for you to learn how to communicate with technology, how to learn to deal with technology, and how it can help you and improve you, and not only your business, but also your personal life. So what about the future? Self-driving cars. According to this article from Business Insider, we will have 10 million self-driving cars on the road by 2020. And by 2040, it's 70% of the cars that are self-driving. This is another article from National Geographic that says electric cars may rule the world's roads by 2040. Now, I'm curious to see here, who here would I'm going to start another poll. Launch poll. Who here would drive in a car that drives itself? And I'm curious, we got 3 people who would drive in a car that would drive itself. And for me, it's a clear yes, because a car is not going to get tired. A car is not going to get lazy. A car is everybody. I mean, I had the meeting in the vegan festival in the Netherlands last week, or the presentation, and there it was about 50%. So I think the idea that we are all connected through technology watching this presentation rather than a real life presentation makes us also more open to technology and more willing to drive in self-driving cars. But yeah, 100% of the people here in this webinar want to drive in self-driving cars. That's cool. So supercomputers are nothing new. In about 20 years ago, this supercomputer called Blue beat the best player in chess in the world. And they did it by learning the computer or programming all the rules and possible scenarios of chess and decisions into a computer. And then once everything is programmed in, the computer executed this GTO strategy. It's a game theory optimized strategy and knows every perfect move. So if they would play 10 games against each other, it's highly likely that the computer would win most games. Now, of course, it can happen that one time they lose. That's variance. But when you have a larger sample size, the computer always wins. I played poker for a living, and we also started to seeing more and more of these online robots playing online poker. And even if you're the best player in the world, it's impossible to win against a computer that always makes the right decision. But those are pre-programmed computers. Today, we have deep learning. And deep learning is best explained and shown in an example by AlphaGo. AlphaGo is a project done by Google DeepMind, and AlphaGo is a computer, a bot, a robot, an artificial intelligence that learns by itself. Now, AlphaGo, I have to go back here. AlphaGo is a game that's played by the computer AlphaGo, and Go is about 1,000 times more difficult than chess. It's a strategic game, and if you are the best in the world, it's almost impossible for somebody else to beat you. It's almost 100% pure skill-based game, and that's really rare with games. Mostly it's everybody has a chance of winning. That's the fun in playing. But this game is so strategic that if you're not extremely good, you don't stand a chance of winning against a high caliber player. However, the deep mind learning program and the AlphaGo bot managed to beat the best player in the world 4 out of 5 games. And they did it only in weeks of teaching the computer itself how to do it. They never taught the computer anything, meaning that computer can actually learn everything. And how did they do that? So the AlphaGo bot, the first thing it does is it observes people play the game. Once it observes people play the game, he will learn the rules. He will understand the rules, and then he does millions of simulations against itself. Now, the AlphaGo can play thousands of simulations at the same time against itself, and it can run for 24 hours, 7 times a day. So within weeks, you get a result that a computer that beats the best player in the world in the most complex and most strategic game in the world. And what this means for us and our society is that we can never beat computers on an analytical level. So anything that is repeatable, even my girlfriend, she's a dentist, and she's going to lose her job to a robot between now and 10 years. Because a robot, just like a car, can make better decisions than we can. Should we stop here? Should we not stop here? Should we turn left or should we not turn left? Should we drive faster or should we drive slower? Like all these decisions that are programmable or learnable or adaptable, the computer can make it itself once it's a pattern. If it's a pattern, the computer can do it, and the computer can do it faster. The computer can do it better. and the computer can do it more efficient without becoming tired, without being distracted, without looking on their phone. So the computers are going to take a lot of our jobs. So what are the jobs of the future? And before we look at what are the jobs of the future, let's have a quick look at what's a job. Because while preparing this presentation, I ran into this topic and I was like, what is a job actually? And how come we have jobs? So the word job was invented about 400 years ago. And only 250 years ago did having a job become popular. This was the industrial age. And the way the world is polluted. And I know as vegans, me as a vegan, I started hating what we as human beings did to our planet and what we did to the animals or do to the animals. And I still am very upset with all these things. But I also start to understand, the more and more I become aware of this and where we are going now, is that the past and everything that happened, like the industrial age, all people having jobs and kind of being enslaved to a system, was necessary for us to get to where we are today. Now, today, it's time for the next step. And that's why we're living today in a new age, a new era. And I think, and now I might dig a little spiritual here, but the Mayans said that 2012 was the end of the world. And I think maybe it was the end of the world. It was the end of the old world, the world where people had jobs, the world where people, were forced and would sell their time. And today, all of that is changing. So what is a job actually? A job is basically your daily routine in civilization. I mean, if you work a 9 to 5, you have a job, that's your routine, and that's how you serve society. So if we change that and we don't call it a job, but instead we would call it a job, and a job stands for your journey of purpose. So job, journey of purpose. And I saw this in a TED talk and I thought, yeah, that's totally what a job should be. And I think many of the vegans, and especially I think everybody who wants to become a vegan entrepreneur and is excited about it, is here for a purpose. We just had a talk with Shamila, and now I'm sorry, I'm ashamed to say, did we have a talk with Shamila? I think it was Shamila. Yeah, okay, I'm 100% sure. And Shamila, she shared the same mission as I am. And I think Koen, who's also in here right now, he's also sharing this mission. And I know Guido from the Vegan Entrepreneurs also sharing this mission. So the more people I meet, and the more people I meet through the Vegan Entrepreneur, are having a similar type of mission. So I think that's really cool. And that's why I'm always having a lot of fun doing these type of things with you guys, because we are in line with each other. We want to achieve the same things. We have the same goals. And that's really, really cool. So regular jobs are disappearing. Regular jobs are going away because computers are taking over. And that means, like, what will be the jobs of the future? Now, the jobs of the future will be there for the creators, the animators, the visionaries, the entrepreneurs, and the life coaches. Basically, if you can, and because most people will lose their job, people will have a lot of free time. When there's free time, most people are not taking much initiative. So they're a bit lost. And we need people who either are entrepreneurs and help people find a new mission, are leaders and creators and create new ways for people to go through. We need animators that can allow a form of escapism, series, YouTube, whatever. And we need visionaries, people who are changing the future and helping human society push forward, like Elon Musk, like Jeff Bezos, like Richard Branson, like really the people who are pushing the limits and redefining the truths that we know today. And then, of course, we need a lot of life coaches. The life coaching business is going to explode because so many people are having problems stepping over to this new world, this new digital world where we are actually going towards. And we need people who can help people understand this world. And this digital world is really cool because the idea that I'm sharing all this advice, all this research, all this knowledge with you for free, it's because it's part of how the new world works. The new world is going to be a lot better. And a lot of people who don't understand that you have to give a lot of value to people and bring and contribute. And older people often complain about millennials, that we always want to buy for a cause and we want to do these things. Like, millennials are just better human beings than most people from previous generations, but also because we just have it really good. We have it really good today, regardless of whatever the world is today, what you might see on television, what you might see on the vegan slaughter film movies or whatever. The vegan movement is rising and it's growing super strongly. And I'm very confident in the future, we're going to have like the vegan would become the norm, and it's going to go sooner than later. And of course, the jobs will be part of IT specialists, people who are extremely good at building technology, maintaining technology, creating new technology, and cybersecurity. Because let's face it, the more open we become, the more vulnerable we become. And there will always be people out there that are not doing the things that we want to do. So cybersecurity will become a massive job field. And a lot of the jobs that we know today, they will be gone in a few years from now. And it's really, really going fast. I highly recommend, if you want to see how fast it's going and where we are, go for TED Talks and then future jobs and search that on YouTube and you'll be surprised. So if by now you understand how far this is going and where this is going and how this world is transforming, you'll understand that it's really important for your business to be part of social media, to create content, to create awareness, to create a foundation where people will find you. Because if most people will learn how to communicate through these networks and through these internet and through Google search and all these things, if Google search can't find you, you don't exist once everybody starts looking for coaches or whatever. Like, you have to be searchable. Now, the consumer perspective about the internet and social media is that it enslaves you, that you sit in the bar and that you are forced to, like you're forced to your phone and you're only looking at your phone. Well, the entrepreneurial perspective, especially of the modern entrepreneur, and we call the digital nomad lifestyle, is totally different. There's people literally traveling around the world, just being connected on the internet, doing their jobs on the internet, and meaningful jobs, big jobs, important jobs, but they're flexible because technology allows them to be flexible. They can hang on the beach, they can chill. As long as they have a computer, they have internet, they are connected and they can participate, they can do teamwork, they can have meetings just like this webinar, or meetings where they all collaborate together. And it won't be long before you can actually sit in a room and probably have a virtual reality meeting with somebody, or maybe even the next step would be a hologramic meeting where you just have a room and this person is sitting in your room, because augmented reality exists. If you never played Pokemon Go and you don't know what's augmented reality, then download Pokemon Go and try it out. Not to play it as a game, but to understand how sick technology actually is becoming right now. Like, imagine, just download it and have a look, and you'll be surprised. It's all about making choices. A lot of people tell me, yeah, but I don't want to be behind the computer, or yeah, I don't want to do this, or yeah, I don't want to do that. Well, if you want to become a part of this modern society that's getting more and more and bigger, you will have to learn at least the basics of how to deal with that. And once you learn it and set it up and automate your business and do all these things, you can actually have more free time to actually enjoy, because the average digital nomad is working a lot less than a regular 9-to-5 job, even if they are employees. Like, you can work as a freelancer, travel over the world, and some people in the vegan entrepreneur community are actually doing that already. So it's all about making choices. Do you want to learn how to deal with technology, or don't you? Once you had to ride a bike and you had to learn how to ride a bike. You couldn't ride a bike to begin with, but because you wanted it, you finally managed and did it. So using and learning this technology is very important, and planning and scheduling a few hours a day or an hour a day to learn and understand this is what's going to help you and your business become more successful. Now, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my personal journey and about my life. I started when I was 13 years old building websites. And I learned myself how to program, and I learned myself how to build websites. I didn't do it on this computer, but I thought it was a funny picture. But yeah, I saw the internet and I really wanted to go kite surfing, but kites were way too expensive. And I had to find a skill that was not feeling like being a stock boy in a supermarket, because that would never pay me enough money to buy a kite. So I understood that I had to position myself and learn a job that would pay me the money that I could afford a kite. So I learned how to build a website because I believed that the internet was actually a really cool thing and was going to be really bigger and a way easier way for people to communicate with their customers. So a few years later, I managed to buy a kite. And when I was 17, I became a professional kite surfer, traveling the world and writing for sponsors, creating my own media, creating my own content, establishing an image on the internet by having a blog, by writing travel articles, by writing for magazines. And slowly I put myself more and more in the picture. And within a year and a half, I was fully professional, had international sponsors, even did a TV commercial for Nescafe. However, I broke my ACL, my knee ligament, and I realized my sponsors, they dropped me. And I was like, what do I have to do now? Because my sponsors are not that loyal. And I ran into online poker. I needed to find a way to make money, and I wanted to learn something and do something that I could still travel and still continue and go back to my passion, kite surfing. And I learned how to play online poker. And a few years later, I quit kite surfing and moved to Brazil and became an online poker player. I got really good results there. I won a lot of big tournaments, and I ranked number 6 in the world in 2012 on PokerStars, which is the biggest website in the world. So this really taught me a lot about big data analytics, because every single hand you play is recorded in a database, and then you have to analyze all these statistics and all this data and use all these numbers to come to conclusions. And the internet today is all about learning to understand these numbers and connecting the dots, because the computers can't connect the dots and make logic of that. That's our job, to be creative with the numbers and make sense of these numbers and try to create decisions based on numbers and estimated choices. So when you do that, you will have a lot of failure. You will have a lot of mistakes. You will often make wrong choices, because in poker, for example, if you have the best hand possible, which is ace, and somebody else would have the second best hand possible, which is king. Now, first, it's extremely rare that somebody else would have the second best hand while you have the first hand. So you're already extremely lucky that he's going to put all his money all in and you do the same. However, when you both put all your money in, it's not guaranteed you're going to win, even though you have the best hand. It's like an 80% chance that you're going to win, meaning that still 1 out of 5 times you would still lose. So understanding these variables, understanding variance, and understanding that not everything is going to work is how social media basically works. Every single post that you post, it doesn't have to be perfect for your business. You just have to post 10 times, figure out which one was the best, and then repeat that process with more posts in line of that post. Everything is trial and error. Everything is an experiment. And because so many people are doing it right now, it's highly important that you start to understand that you don't have to have everything perfect before you start promoting yourself and before you start building your business and before you start doing all these things. It's about learning how to fall, trial and error, getting back up and doing everything all over again, and keep on trying that until you find those things that work. The more you try, the more chance you'll become successful. So I then opened a sandwich and smoothie bar. I had the sandwich smoothie bar, and I had to promote my business, which I did through the internet. And in the first year, we already turned a profit, but it was so hard to work in this bar. And the money I made, the profit I made, was nothing compared to the money I could make on poker. This is me, by the way, at the opening of our bar. And I think it was the first week or something. And I literally worked from day to night for 3 months, and now with clients, and it was so tiring. Like starting any business, you have to know that whatever business you start, it's extremely hard work to be an entrepreneur, to have a job. is totally different because now everything is on your shoulders. It's super tough. So my life continued. I went to France. I married my girlfriend at the time, and we divorced not much later. And that made me move back from Brazil back to the Netherlands, or the Netherlands, or actually the Netherlands more looks like this. But after showing to you my beautiful country, in reality, we often see more of this. So I met a girl from Spain, and together we turned vegan, and together we started to become more and more active. That's my girlfriend. And with my girlfriend, we became vegan, and in no time, we saw forks. Now I saw Blackfish, then I saw the Gary Yourofsky speech, Forks Over Knives, Cowspiracy. I saw all of that within 2 days, and within 2 days, I was vegan. And I was not vegan because of those speeches and those talks, but I got vegan because I discovered veganism on YouTube. And I fell in love with YouTube, and I realized that YouTube is really the new television of today. Like, nobody below 18 is actually watching TV, let it be for one show that they might really enjoy. But overall, they don't really watch TV anymore. So they consume everything on YouTube. And for us, it's 100% free to promote our business and to attract the people through YouTube. Basically start our own TV channel. It doesn't cost us anything. So my digital journey, I'm sorry, this is in Dutch, but my digital journey, it started with itsnotsalad.com. It was an activism channel, and I was going out on the street and I was talking to people. And if you go to itsnotsalad.com, you will find the channel and you can see the interviews for yourself. And it taught me to be more confident. It learned me how to be a better presenter. It learned me how to edit videos better. And it learned me how to do all these other things. And I slowly built up the skill set and learned how to communicate with strangers. And it was really out of my comfort zone. Like, it was not normal for me. I was nervous every time. Before I started this webinar, I was nervous. Like, it slowly gets more and more normal the more I'm doing it. But in the beginning, it's scared for everybody. And you just have to step out of that comfort zone and start promoting it. If that's what you want, of course. I mean, you have to decide how you want to take your business, what you want to do with your business. But I'm a strong believer that if you want to be in business and you're not actively promoting that business on social media and on the internet, then for most businesses, you better not even start, because without the social media, you don't reach the customers. So I was an activist, and I was really passionate about veganism. And just like the kite surfing, just like the poker, when I want to do something, I want to do it 300%. So that's why I opened up this YouTube channel. But I realized that activism, it creates awareness, but it's entrepreneurship that creates the solutions. So I started Lilita, and Lilita was the idea to build kind of an Amazon for vegans with an official label, and we would then check the items, and we would seriously, we would connect the businesses and ourselves, and maybe even ship ourselves. So you can check the video if you if you go to Project Lilita or Lilita on YouTube, you will find the introduction video. It's today 1 year and 1 day ago that it actually happened. However, I realized that to do the thing that I wanted to do, I needed a lot of cash, and I didn't have the cash. And I also didn't want to take on the investors and do all these things. Like, I wanted to bootstrap my business and start it from the ground and really earn my way up and enjoy the journey of learning all these new skills that I have to learn. So once I got confident enough in learning all the skills and studying enough, I started the Vegan Entrepreneur, which is a digital marketing consulting business. So I help companies and help them. And occasionally I also do work for them, but doing work costs a lot of time. And I want to focus on eventually building Lilita. So I want to position myself and create a business that is allowing me to do that and to grow. So to do that, I have the Vegan Entrepreneur as my consulting business, and I have the Young Human Club, which I will share something about very soon. but that's for people who want to be in business, who want to start business, and who are looking for a group where they can together work on that business, grow that business, to create a more vegan world. So the Vegan Entrepreneur, my goal is really to help existing business owners grow and scale their business through the use of social medias. And the Young Human Club is there to kind of build a group of friends, a club. That's also why it's called the club. And together build these businesses. So Lolita then is the end project, which I will tell you something about at the end of this presentation. But I started vlogging on the Vegan Entrepreneur. And what was really funny is that after months of vlogging already and a lot of videos, I only still had 60 subscribers. Then I opened up a new channel about 3 months ago. And within 3 months, I had almost 1,200 subscribers, 1,156 to be exact. Now, what's the difference? What makes it that a channel or a piece of content would get 60 subscribers compared to almost 1,200 subscribers? The difference is that this channel, The Young Human, is all about giving value. There's nothing about me except the 2 vlogs that you see over there. The rest is all part of education for people, where people can learn, where people can get something. People want to get value. That's why they will follow you. That's how you build an influence. It shouldn't be about you if you want to promote your business. It shouldn't be about you if you want to become an authority in this new world. It has to be about something else. It has to be about the consumer. It has to be designed to properly entertain the consumer. And in this channel, for example, I create videos on how to focus, what is like should you multitask or not, and why not? What's the difference? How does it work? Why is that? How to use these software tools, how to strategize yourself, and how to find your perfect niche and to position yourself to become successful. Like all these strategies I'm sharing on this channel for free because it's what helps me to attract clients to come to me, which then in turn allows me to ask more money, and it's not becoming about a race to the bottom because only one person can be the cheapest. And if you're the second cheapest, it's irrelevant. And I don't want to be in business to try to be the cheapest. I want to be in business to create my project Lolita. So these things, if you don't know this channel yet, if you didn't subscribe yet, make sure to go to the Young Human, subscribe, and you can check out, there's a lot of information already there about business, about positioning, about software tools and how to use them. And if you have questions, just send me an email, randy@randyhereman.com, and I'm happy to answer them, or send me a message on Facebook. Now, the social business on YouTube, and this doesn't really matter if it's YouTube or if it's Instagram or Facebook or Snapchat. Basically, the first step is get attention. Once you have the attention of the people and they're listening to you, then you have your foot in the door. And once you have your foot in the door, you can then promote the things you want to promote. So how can you make money while having a YouTube channel or having a Facebook account or having a Facebook group like I'm having? Well, first of all, you can sell your own product. You can promote your own product and people can buy it. It's part of the front end of your business. It's a way of how you acquire your customers. Now, if you have a business, or if you start a business, try to think about which way, how are you going to get your customers? Where will you find your customers? And how can you get more ways of getting your customers? Now, on the internet, you can design tools and systems that will automatically get you customers based on automated email sequences, based on automated advertisements on Facebook, based on automated advertisements or promotions in blogs through influencer marketing. There's a lot of ways to create and drive traffic even while you sleep. And you can create and get business and create leads or get people interested in your products through having these documented or automated systems running for you. Now, once you have that attention, you can also sell products for other people. I sell an e-marketing platform where I'm getting $8 for every single user that I sell to. Now, this platform is even such a good affiliate product that every person that buys it who also wants to resell it, for each person that he resells it to, I also get $8. So this creates a system that if he has 100 people under him after a year or 2 years, every month I'm getting $808 of profit into my business, even if I don't have to do anything. And we can build a nice passive income So we make money even while we don't have to work. There's so many ways of making money today that I want to open everybody's eyes to show you the possibilities. So in other ways, get advertisers or sponsors. Just like when I was kite surfing, they were paying me money to use their products so I could travel the world with that money and see the nicest places, hang out on the nicest beaches, always be in the sun and have a lot of fun, while other people were paying for it because those people wanted me to create the content, create videos, create photos that then I could share to magazines. There was not really social media yet. It was not really active yet. It was just the start of YouTube. So unfortunately, that was like that, because otherwise I would have started vlogging years ago. But it's never too late. It's always nice to start promoting something or building something that will help you get a lot of different streams of income and not depend on only a boss or only one client or whatever. So you will always have the freedom to choose whatever it is that you want to choose. Now, if you know how to do this, and once you become an expert and you know how to work the internet, then you can become a consultant and you can get charged a lot of money. I charge 400 euro an hour to consult for businesses and share my expertise with them. And this is 1 hour of work. And some people I was having this client, she was a dog walker, and I was talking with her yesterday, and she's charging 20 euro and she thought she couldn't ask more money. And like, you're basically selling your time for 20 euro and you say that your time is only worth 20 euro. Now she's like, yeah, but my clients cannot pay that. Then I'm like, okay, but then you should look for different clients. There's dog owners that buy a jacket for their dog for 5,000 euro because it's from Prada. Prada understands positioning. Mercedes understands positioning. The Mercedes car is not that much better than a nice new high-end Volkswagen, or I don't know much about cars, but like, it's just that they position themselves and advertise and market themselves to different clients who want to be associated with a different status, tell themselves a different story, and that's where the power of storytelling comes in. So once you do that, and if you really like that to help other people, you can even start your own media agency. I'm helping now a vegetarian snack bar, and I do it really to build up a case study and to show people like how it's possible and how it's done to promote my consultancy business. But later on, once I have enough money, I want to scale this and build a social media agency that will help and represent vegans, because the biggest agency right now for social media is the one from Gary Vaynerchuk, who's also running the biggest vlog and personal brand on the internet. And he doesn't do that to show himself to everybody. He does that to show the big brands like how a good social media account is run and how you can create a really big impact. And then Gary Vaynerchuk, he charges like his pricing to be a client of him doesn't go below 30,000 euro a month. And if Gary Vaynerchuk gets to speak at the keynote right now, he gets paid 150,000 euro for one speaking gig, which is 1 day of work, flying somewhere, going back, 150,000 euro. And all because he positioned himself and he got the attention. Now, you might not want to be Gary Vaynerchuk. You might not want to be that superstar. You might not want millions of people to follow you. Now, you don't have to. If you just have a coaching business, you can find that specific niche and you can create specific content and use that to nurture your community, just like I'm doing with the Vegan Entrepreneur or with my YouTube channel. It can be very beneficial for your business, and not everybody's going to find you, because literally from 1300 to 1400, it took 100 years to double all the information possible. Whereas today, it only takes 11 hours. So don't be afraid that everybody will see whatever it is that you're doing. Only the people that are in your circle, in your niche, will see you. And if somebody might look for you because they heard something about you, they will look you up. But isn't that the best thing if you have a business and you have something to sell? So you have to learn and let go of how business was done in the past and invest time, take risks, and position yourself for the future. This is not only for big businesses, but this is especially good for small businesses, startups, personal brands, coaches, and anyone who wants to reach a target audience. As a small business, you can experiment so much because the damage is not as big. Like we can be really fast. We can post different stories. We can post different pictures. If Nike posts a picture that falls really bad with their audience, the risk of loss of reputation is so much bigger than if you make one mistake right now, because yeah, maybe 20 people will be pissed off, but we just said there were 3.5 billion people connected to the internet. So if you can find your niche, those 20 people, they're irrelevant compared to the other people. So don't be afraid of the making the mistakes and learning and failing. I make a lot of mistakes every time again, but I just learn from them and I try not to do them again and improve upon it. So Gary Vaynerchuk, I know we could cover him a lot, but every business is a media company. He's the superstar. He's the champion of doing this. And he's teaching a lot of people how to do this as well. And he's not only teaching by giving courses, he's not giving courses, but he's showing you how you should promote your business. Now, he has 16 or 17 people on his team promoting his brand, his personal brand. So don't think that you have to do what he's doing, but start with one platform, become an expert at the platform, figure out a niche and position yourself and reach that niche, and do that through advertising. And I would highly advise to start on Facebook, because if you looked at the statistics of which audience is on which platform, you saw that Facebook is clearly the dominating platform with the most people, and their advertising system is having so much detailed information that if I want to advertise to somebody interested in entrepreneurship, but he also has to be vegan and not like McDonald's and not like the farm industry or whatever, but he should like, I don't know, YouTube and Facebook, so I know he already understands social media a little bit, then I can do that. I can position and put my face in front of those people. If I want to design a vegan shirt and I would live in Australia, in Sydney, and I would say, Sydney vegans are awesome, yay, or whatever on the shirt, I mean, you can think of something else, but a truck driver, if you're a truck driver from Kansas, well, you can create a t-shirt, Kansas truck driver, Kansas City truck driver, and make a nice design, print those t-shirts, and advertise to all the truck drivers from the truck driver companies in Kansas. Now, you can see how it's easy to sell a product if you can make a product for a certain person. Social media created a lot of little small communities. And through these smaller communities, your products have to be more appealing to these communities. The reason why I decided to build my full business only targeting vegans is because I'm vegan and I want to work only with vegans, or mostly working with vegans. Like if I have a choice, I would always work with vegans. And that's why I created the vegan entrepreneur community. So I start to attract and bring value to my vegan niche. And then no matter what business it is, if vegan business want to start and become part of the digital world and transform their business and learn more about the social media thing, I would be the go-to guy because I've positioned myself as the go-to guy in this community. So try to think about that, about how you can serve a certain community and which community you can serve, because the more precise you can advertise to that community, the better your results will be. So no matter what you do, your job is to tell your story. And I did that for the vegetarische snack bar, a vegetarian snack bar that creates their own snacks. And in Holland, the Netherlands, we are really fancy on the fast food, and not the fast food like McDonald's, but like a lot of deep fried stuff. They have a Facebook page, and I just show you quickly some things that I did for them. I went there and I created a little vlog, a really short vlog, and I posted it on the Vegan Entrepreneur Facebook page. And I put it that on my Facebook page, and then shared it on the Vegetarische Snack Bar, their Facebook page, and it reached 4,180 people. So 4,180 people had the opportunity to click on it. Now, it had 2,939 views. So just this little piece of content got a really big reach, because vegans in the Netherlands really like this fast food thing, because it's the one thing that is really hard to access. So the content I'm creating here, of course, is content that's easier to go viral and be nice for people, because it's a pain point of that person. So what is the pain point in your business, and how can you solve or enlighten or entertain people with that pain point? Try to think about that. Now, Then I did this promotion thing, and you can see the amount of people we reached with this. It's 4 different little videos created out of one video, or 3 videos and 1 picture. And it was a win promotion where you could win a snack for 4 people, and we would give away 4 of those. Now this worked, but it was too much work for me for the amount of money that I got from the guy, and it's not what he asked for. He asked for just doing Facebook ads, but I wanted to show, and I convinced him that I wanted to create content because I believe that doing an advertisement, it goes into nothing. Like, you might advertise one thing, but you don't really build up the reputation, and you don't really build up the documentation, because the moment you stop advertising, everything's gone. Now, if you can build a community, then suddenly the work and the effort you put in your social media becomes worth a lot more. Look at this webinar, for example. Right now, we are with 5 people watching here, and I don't know whoever is watching on Facebook right now, but I get to speak my story and tell my story to 5 people because I built a reputation. I didn't even advertise. Now, the longer I will do this, the bigger it will go. Now, as soon as I start to have my product done, the product is still in development. This is right now a trial. This is a test. This is for me to figure out how everything works and to show it to the people who are already part of my community in the beginning. But once everything is done, once my whole digital system to automate everything is finished, which should be finished by the end of this month, then I will just start advertising. And then all I have to do is give a presentation once a week and drive 100, 200, 300 people to this webinar every single week. And the only thing I should focus on in my business is drive people to this webinar. And once that is going, that's how I am collecting more and more clients for the Young Human Club. So it's building the foundation, building community is what will give you sustainable, long-lasting results. Because once you have that community, once you have that fan base, and you can sell to them over and over again for things they really need, because a lot of people think selling is negative or bad or whatever, but it's just an exchange of value. They want to get advice on something, and they want to make more sales in their business. Okay, how big is their business? What type of business do they have? How can I create a product that is good for them and good for me? So maybe for small businesses and small business owners, I will create a digital course with a stepping program and maybe 1 or 2 coaching sessions to check up on the results that they did. Maybe with the higher clients, the high-end businesses, as a coach, I can give them one-on-one coaching. So which program can you create for which audience? And how can you bring that audience and help them and take them with your service or your business or your products from the little product to the big product? So we did more, and this video went viral. It was a video about how they existed for 5 years, how they're the only snack bar in the Netherlands that is vegan and that has a cup karma. And a cup karma, for those of you who are not Dutch, it's like French fries with a type of, well, in this case, fake meat on top of it. It's shawarma. You probably know shawarma or doner kebab or things like that. On top of it, with cheese on top of that. Oh no, with sauce, then topped with cheese, then salad on top of it, and then more sauce. Like, it's really unhealthy. It's really bad, but it's really delicious, especially after a long night out or sometimes when you need a little bit of a heavy bottom before a party. So a lot of people eat this in the Netherlands, especially after their party. So when they see that this is vegetarian or vegan and even gluten-free and it's fast food heaven, like these text things that I put above, they really help with the videos that I create, because when I do that, it gets a lot more views and a lot more traffic. Now, as you can see, it reached almost 750,000 people. And the light orange part is the organic reach. Now, the dark orange part, because I knew this video was so perfect and so viral, and it got 425 people sharing this. And for the following that he has, without advertising budget, that's a lot of people watching that video and getting to know his company. Now, because we knew this worked so well, this video, we decided to advertise this video in our area, in our little neighborhood, where the people could actually come and consume that product. And we knew the type of clients that were coming in. They're either vegan, vegetarian, and they're from all over the place, or they're students. Now, nearby, there's a university. So what did we do? We advertised the video to the university that was 500 meters away. And in no time did we see an increase in sales. And he had to hire 2 more people in their business. And, like he's now thinking about maybe extending his business, because he realizes that it's not even the business that he has, it's that he created such a strong community throughout the Netherlands around his business that if he would open up something in another place or license it to people or do whatever, he now can do it because he already has the customers before he even has the business. And that's all because of his social media. So we did some extra videos. We even tried to look for people to hire people for their business. I mean, placing an ad to hire somebody costs you money. Finding somebody else to find the perfect person for you costs you money. Looking after and chasing people takes a lot of time. So we just shared it on social media. 30 people shared it. Almost 10,000 people saw it. It's you can use your community. You can use and leverage your community to leverage your business and create free forms of advertising. Now, of course, Facebook has an algorithm, and now they only show you like between 5 and 14% of the people of your list, and you would have to pay some extra money if you want to advertise something directly. So you could do it, but still, we had our profile. You're going to see this. I'll show you some extra videos. We started with 5,000 people almost, and now we have 10,609 people. So almost 10,000 people saw it. And even though Facebook didn't show that much, because we built such a strong fan base and such a strong following, a lot of people wanted to share these type of videos because they really like the business. There's a lot of, how do you say that? Yeah, willingness from people to contribute and to help or enjoy or share, or people want to work there because they feel like they're not just working at a snack bar, they're contributing to creating a more vegan business or solution. So also for their business, they got 383 reviews, rating a 4.7 on Facebook. Now, reviews are super important because it's what other people say about you that is way better than whatever it is that you say about yourself on your website. So with the advertisement that we did to the school in the neighborhood, we spent only €400 on advertisements, and we got these were the views that we got. And you can see we reached almost 67,000 people in our neighborhood that saw and still see our business or the vegetarian snack bar over and over again in their feed. It takes approximately 6 to 7 times before somebody acts upon your offer. So if you start out on social media, know and understand that it will take some time before somebody trusts you enough or converts or wants to buy something. Now with a snack bar, it's different because you're like, hey, I want that. And it's food and it's something you do on a regular basis. But if you're a lawyer or if you're a coach, it will take some time to establish it. But once you establish it, it's way more powerful. And people will search you out, meaning that you can then also decide and filter. Plus, you can decide to put yourself in front of whoever you want to put yourself. If you as a lawyer want to help everybody and be having a really low fee, then advertise against every single person who's vegan. But if you want to work with only business owners who have a Facebook page, who need to know more about that and are interested in this, then you can advertise and put your business and IDs only in front of these people. So that's the power of social media for business owners. Now, some people might say, but I don't have the budget because it's really, really expensive. Now, let me tell you the truth. I'm doing this with a webinar of a webcam that's on my computer. And I film most of my vlogs and videos for the vegetarian snack bar. Everything is filmed on a mobile phone, on an iPhone 7 Plus. And the reason I do that, it's not because I cannot afford a big camera or whatever. It's because I want to show to people, and I'm working right now on creating a course for people to show them how to do that. How can you take your phone and how can you create something interesting or create a vlog or edit a video and put some music under it? And like, it's really not that hard. There's so many experts that build software. If you go back 10 years, it was way harder. But today, it's just your imagination. A phone, a tripod, something to hold your phone, and maybe a white box that I used to create some pictures and content for the vegetarian snack bar of their products. Or maybe you have a bracelet company, or maybe you make vegan socks and you want to sell them. Well, a little white box for about 150, 200 euro can already provide you with really high quality images, because the cameras on our smartphones are ridiculously good today. So all you need is the ID and a little bit of creativity, and that's it. Learn the power of storytelling and learn how to engage with the audience that you are a part of. So I did a video for Lilita. Unfortunately, I cannot show it because it's I tried it last time and it gets stuck, but that's another example of the power of storytelling. I will link it and I will send it to you guys in the chat after this webinar, and I will put it in the chat on the Facebook webinar link, so you guys can see it if you want to see it. But it's about me going out on the street and helping homeless people and feeding them by cooking for them and sharing these meals on the streets of the Canarian Islands. Because the Canarian Islands, it's really tough. It's really like there's a lot of homeless people because it's such a good place to live. It's really warm the whole year around, and still it's pretty decent to live, even if you're homeless. If I would be homeless, I would definitely move to the Canarian Islands because life is relatively good. So what is the story? I could just go out, cook some food, and go there. It doesn't make much of an impact. So instead, I added things to the story. I went out on the street, I started playing music, and the money I got from the music, we made little signs, we put them in front. The money we raised, we bought groceries, and together with my dad and my girlfriend, we started cooking these meals and put them all in little bags. And after that, we went out on the street with my mom and my girlfriend, and we started sharing these meals to homeless people. So by adding a few extra dimensions and dynamics, we can create something that's more interesting and people can look up to or admire and want to be a part of and want to share something too. So what happened after that, somebody else started also to do something like that. And this is how we create a movement of doing good deeds. So if you want to work with me, and I'm not sure the audience that we have here, because if you want to work with me, we can together build a solid strategy for your business to establish an authority in the future. How do we position yourself and how do we do these things? Now, I said, I don't know. I saw based on the poll that the audience, and that's because I didn't advertise right now. I really do this to everybody who's in the vegan entrepreneur community because I want to give value to this community. I charge 1,800 euro a month, and it's a monthly recurring fee, and we help and build that project. Now, I know most people inside of the Vegan Entrepreneur Group, as I saw before, and we also saw in the polling, are not able to afford 1,800 euro a month. That's why I started the Young Human Club, where we have webinars like this, where we have meetings that we'll have after this meeting as well. We're going to have a little meeting, talk a little bit. People can introduce themselves and really become a part of a club. Because as an entrepreneur, we say it's really lonely over here. And it's not true. It's not lonely. It's just that you have to learn to surround yourself with people. And that's why I created this club. That's why I create a way to help even people who are starting, because my mission, my idea is to help and empower people with the knowledge and the skills that I have by telling them and helping them and learning them how to position themselves in the future. Now, I will share with you, and this is a premium, and it's still a work in progress. Literally nobody saw this so far. I will share with you the Young Human and what it is. And I've been working on this today. It's not totally done yet, but it is almost done. Now, please share in the chat if you guys are still there, if I didn't make you fall asleep, and if you can see the screen with the big Young Human logo. So maybe I need to do this. So, okay, awesome. You guys can see it. So For the logo that I talked about before the meeting, the Vegan Entrepreneur logo got designed by me, by somebody who liked my YouTube channel, learned something from that. She designed that. Then I helped her with her business a little bit. And then she designed another header. Maybe we can have a little look at that quickly. And I can show you guys the header. Like, she's an awesome artist. So if you look for any animation drawings, she's vegan. And she made this for me. So I thought it was really, really cool. So I put it over here. And that's another thing that within your business, definitely look at the branding, like the image you want to create. I'm not quite sure if this is the right branding for my business. That's also why I brand the Young Human like this. And the Vegan Entrepreneur, I'm thinking about rebranding it because maybe I won't attract the right client. Imagine you needing to hire a coach, and that coach would look like somebody who's living on the street. Now, you wouldn't hire this person as a coach because you wouldn't identify yourself and want to learn from that person. So just the way you are, everything you do, the way you present yourself on the internet, the way you dress, the way you do everything, it's relevant in the way the other person perceives you. It's sad, but it's true. So thinking about these things is really, really important. So I'm curious about you guys, what you think about the logo. So definitely leave something in the chat about what you think about the logo. Should I keep it or should it go? The Young Human, what do we do? I will read it to you guys. And yeah, then you guys will learn a bit more about this. We empower vegan entrepreneurs to become successful and help spread the vegan message. We help vegan entrepreneurs to start their business and take their business to the next level. We teach vegan entrepreneurs how to use and automate modern tools to do the work for them. We guide vegan entrepreneurs and force them to focus on what moves them closer to their goals. We challenge vegan entrepreneurs to step out of their comfort zone and become a leader in their niche. We give vegan entrepreneurs a platform to speak and share their message. Part of this, what I'm doing right now, is next Thursday, we're going to have Guido Soeteman. He will be sharing something about sales. Then we're going to have Koen Vasse. He will be sharing something about the health, about vegan diet, and about something that's really important and part of entrepreneurship. Because if you don't eat right, then your entrepreneurship probably also won't do as good. And I think most vegans are very conscious of that. So that's really cool. We don't have to explain that. But we build strong connections and contribute towards each other's success. I think it's really important. And again, Gary Vaynerchuk, if you don't know him, definitely start watching some of his content on YouTube because he's really the role model of how new business is done. He really makes a big statement that really was an eye-opener for me and allowed me to really become very active on social media because you can build the biggest building by building the biggest building, meaning that when I was kite surfing, when I was playing poker, I didn't like that other people would become more successful than me. And now I'm okay to admit it. But I think so many people in this world are not willing to share because they don't want to give their best kept secrets to other people because they're afraid they would walk away with it and they would be left behind. Now, if you are truly talented and good at what you're doing, maybe a few people are better than you are and become bigger than you are. But if you look down and if you look at all the people that want to learn whatever it is that you can do, or if they need a service that you can provide, or have a product that they want, or having something they can entertain themselves with, there's so many people in this world, and whatever it is that you work for and want, you will gain. Now, I wanted to show you a little bit about the philosophy and read it to you guys. And I'm very interested and curious about your feedback. As I said before, I didn't advertise this. I didn't try to attract the perfect priced range clients for the vegan entrepreneur. This is more about the Young Human, and this is more about the vegan entrepreneur community. So I'm curious about what you guys think about this. So let me read this. Human beings like we know them today exist for 200,000 years old, and our planet is over 4.5 billion years old. The internet's only 28 years old. 13 years ago, Facebook didn't even exist, and only 10 years ago, Steve Jobs, together with Apple, launched the first real smartphone that changed the way we interact today. This new digital world, the way we interact and communicate, is so novel to each and every one that it creates endless opportunities for those who are eager to learn, work, and create. Young humans are creating a path for others to follow. We step up, we challenge ourselves, and we use our time and energy to help those around us. We use our personal talents to empower and transform the lives of those who are ready to join us. Now, I think this is really important also in my business journey, is that in the beginning, I was trying to get everybody, which got me a lot of clients that I really didn't want to work with. They were really difficult clients. They were clients that were not really enjoyable to work with. So once I had focus and knew exactly what I wanted, then I could start attract the clients that I actually wanted to work with. And then life became a lot more pleasant. And I didn't have to deal with the negative people that don't understand that they have to invest money to advertising. Like people I work with, they believe that advertisement and social media is beneficial. I don't have to convince anybody of it because they already did it themselves, which makes life a lot easier. So that's why I say who are ready to join us. And I wanted to share that because I see we have a lot of people starting out now or trying to build a profitable business. So it's important to really know exactly what clients you want and map out all these details. And if you guys want to become a part of the Young Human, we will help you do that. So we believe the internet has the power to spread our message to millions and create powerful and meaningful relationships. We don't only build client relationships, we build communities. We create meaningful friendships and find like-minded people to join and support us during our journey. We contribute to creating the world we believe in. We don't judge, we learn to understand. We don't let age define our limitations to evolve, learn, and transform. We are eager to learn and educate ourselves to become the best versions we could become. We are young at heart and ambitious. We are young humans. Now, in this document that I'm preparing, we talk about the internet mindset, the coaching program, what to expect. We start with self-awareness, then we learn you the art of reverse engineering, how to achieve your goals. We learn you how to set goals, because only once you're self-aware, you can actually set the goals with focus rather than just fool around and do a lot of things until you find that focus. A case study is from Koen Vasse. He is the first guy to join the Young Human Club. We're now at 2 members. We didn't even launch yet. It's just part of the vegan entrepreneur community that these members actually joined. And he started as a supermarket manager with a dream, and Koen quit his job and took a chance. He decided to no longer work and realize other people's dreams, but instead chase his own. Starting in May 2007, only recently, he opened up his business, and only a few months later, he's living in another country. He's living in Gran Canaria as well, so that's funny. And I'm planning to move there as well. Sharing his passion for supportive vegan lifestyle with like-minded people. So he's helping people, teaching them how to eat a vegan diet, people who are open-minded to veganism, and people who are wanting to learn more about sports, becoming healthier, becoming fitter, achieving their physical goals and achieving their lifestyle goals. So this is one example. If you want to see it, go to the Young Human on YouTube. You can find the story of Koen. I will also put it in Facebook in the chat down below, or you can find it in the group actually. Now, I didn't finish the document yet because it's in the progress. I actually worked, and everything you saw today, everything you saw I did today, not the presentation, but this whole document. This is also how I then create my website, because my website is not a website. My website will be a sales page, and this is a sales proposal. And in the order, we know how to design the website and which information we should put on the website, because we all pick it out of this material. So then it comes to the investment. How much will it be? Well, the prices are going to range between €100 and €250. That's the idea to start. I free up 5 hours a week of my time, and the first 5 people are extremely lucky because we will get into a coaching program once every week. And then once we grow, it will become less every month. Then we start with group meetings. So the sooner you join, the more you get out of it. That's my benefit to the people who are early. And I think the idea will be to keep it at €100, because I think for €100, anybody who wants to start a business has a chance to learn, educate, and be part of a community and have a platform to promote. Like once you know what you want, you have your mission, you have the group, you can host webinars like this within the vegan entrepreneur community and start learning and testing. And you create really a safe space for people to learn, test. And, like, it's not about the failure. It's about, I might screw up this webinar, but tomorrow I can host a new webinar and advertise and drive people and traffic there and get new chances. And it's about learning to understand these type of things. So this was the webinar. I hope you guys liked it. Definitely stay, because I'm going to connect everybody in the chat who wants to join, and we can start, talk, debate. You guys can ask questions. We can talk about your business. We can talk about, guys can introduce yourself, get to know each other. I really believe in the power of community, and I think it's awesome to get to know each other. We also talked with Edward. We talked with Shamila. I'm definitely eager to hear about Paul and about Kalisley. I'm looking forward to hear how you pronounce that name. And if you're watching this on Facebook and you want to join us, I will post a link in the comments of the video that you just watched, and join us in the meeting and join us. Until we are here, we are here. And I will stop the Facebook Live right now. And let me see where I can do this. Stop live.